And let me tell you this story, and then this kind of has some lessons in it too. I was getting off the firehouse one morning. I had hunted in this little spot about a half hour from our house 2 days prior, and this little buck was just chasing does around like crazy. It was hilarious to watch, and I thought, man, this is a great place to bring Sydney. And so I take her, or I talk to her the next day I'm at the firehouse. I was like, hey, babe, listen, I'm going to pull up tomorrow after work. You got to be ready. And then we've got to get to this place. I've got a place cleared out on the ground. We're just going to sit there. Okay. And I said, bring some snacks. Okay. So I pull up, day is just breaking. And I'm like, please be ready. Man, here she comes. Face painted, which makes me laugh.
Yeah.
Ready to go, dressed, everything. She was ready to go. And in her hands, she's carrying 2 water bottles or Pepsi bottles, I can't remember which, filled with milk. And I'm here to tell you, my heart absolutely sank. Every time I hunt, I either have an empty water bottle or an empty Pepsi bottle that I fill with milk for breakfast. I've done it for years. I had no idea she was watching that. I had no clue when I told her to get a snack that she would probably pour Pepsi out so that she could fill them with milk and then come walking out and knowing what I wanted. That to me is probably that's the second most vivid memory of this story is I had no idea you were watching. And so that's what a clue. They're watching when you don't think they're watching.
Right.
They're taking notes. Their things are sticking to them. And you've got to be aware of that. We go out, we sit down, and like, you made a joke a little bit ago, dad joke, because I said something corny, which I say a lot. So we're sitting here on the ground less than 5 minutes. And I look her right in the eye, and I said, this is taking forever. This is boring, isn't it? And she looked at me and just was like, Dad, and she stopped mid-sentence, and I'm like, what? And, we're staring at each other. We're sitting on the ground, staring at each other. She's like, there's a deer right behind you. And I was like, now you're doing it.
Yeah.
She's like, no, I'm serious. And I was like, okay. I go, can you get a shot? She's like, I think so. I said, okay, well, spin around, get in position. And she does. I was like, did he move? She said, no. I was like, okay. So I hand her the gun. I get out of her way, and she brings the gun up. And I said, can you see it now? Can you see it in the scope? She's like, yeah. I was like, okay. And in my mind, I'm like, there's no chance this goes down. This doesn't happen. Oh, by the way, she's 15 when this happens, I think. I said, okay, well, I mean, if you're ready, then go ahead. And she gets it up. She takes in a big, deep breath and blows it out. And right then, I was like, oh, my God, she's remembering everything I talked to her about. I mean, she's on it. And then I thought, this is going to happen. And sure enough, she pulls off the trigger. Deer goes 30 or 40 yards and piles up. And I mean, I spin around. I'm like, babe, did you shoot that deer? She was like, yeah, I think I did. Now, this is where I go, typical mentor. I'm crazy happy, okay? And rightfully so, But then later, and now looking back at not only that, but other things, like, why was she happy? She's, by the way, vegan now.
She's vegan now.
She's a vegan now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I drove her to veganism. And she makes, not that anybody cares, but that's a health thing. She prefers to eat that way. But she paid attention to everything I had said.
Yeah.
Now, she was happy, in my opinion, not because she killed a deer. She's not happy that deer just died.
Right.
She's happy because I'm happy.
Right.
She's happy for one reason, and that's that she thinks I'm proud of her for killing that deer.
Yeah.
And
there was no pressure to do that.
Right.
So the reward when the goal was accomplished was that much sweeter because it wasn't like it seems like she didn't have to release any negative burden like, oh, if I don't kill a deer today, my dad's going to be disappointed, because that wasn't the case.
It wasn't, but I could have made her feel that way.
You could have. And
it's probably very easy to feel that way.
I see a lot of parallels when we talk about mentorship when it comes to hunting. And, we've said a couple times now, and you just said it, it's not about you. It's about the person you're mentoring. And unfortunately, I coached youth baseball for years, and I see a lot of that. It's about the parents. And you'll see kids that come to practice and they love it. They have a great time because the parents aren't there. And,
That's
and we're
a great point.
And we're getting better, and we're working, and we're training, and everything's good. It's a great environment. But then the game time comes. If you don't get the hits, if you make an error, the parents are there to criticize you and come down on you, because obviously they want the best for their kid. I get that. But they want to see their kid succeed too, and they don't always know how to deal with it when their kid doesn't. And baseball's a game of failure. And what I'm finding is hunting is a game of failure.
Oh, for sure.
So I
Absolutely
see a lot of parallels there, and I see how it can be easy for someone who is trying to be a mentor to fall into that trap, because they've been through the highs and the lows, and they want, especially with their kid, they want the best for their kid. So they want their kid to have the best experience. And when it doesn't go the way, like textbook, the way it should go, sometimes they don't know how to process that. And it may come across like they're mad or upset or disappointed. And that's not always the case, but sometimes it is. And it's about being a little bit self-conscious and realizing that you're trying to help this person fall in love with this lifestyle.